Hello there. This is an overview of my patch for the Bitwig Grid Challenge in the CEMI Discord. All right, let's get to it. So this is a very different patch than Danimals. I elected not to go with trying to sequence within the grid. I've done a little bit of that and want to go a little different direction, some more sound design. So this kind of builds off some of the Car Plus Strong stuff I was doing. I'm going to shut up and play it for a minute. It's kind of scary and weird sounding, but here we go. All right. Horrorlicious. So what I've got going on here, a lot. This is a modification of the Car Plus Strong patch I did. So I've got, my math to get pitch values as Bitwig treats them into delay time for the mod delay. Probably don't even really need that in this patch, but I did it anyway. And this is the delay lens sort of acting as the resonator. The way this sort of gets kicked off is just with a so every 4 beats of the clock, 4 quarter notes, 4 bars, I think in this case. I can't remember exactly how long it is. 4 bars at whatever tempo. Again, that doesn't really matter for this patch. It triggers a little burst of noise. Very, very, very quiet. You actually can't hear the initial. There's actually a little noise ping, like a plucked string at the very beginning there. I wanted it very quiet because what I really care about in this patch is the feedback. So that really just kind of kicks things off, puts a little bit of signal inside this resonant delay. And the output of the resonant delay in this case has an additional outer feedback path in addition to the inner resonant delay, which gives it the string character. So the output goes into both a wave folder and a distortion to kind of, emulate something distorted like a guitar amp. This is really sort of inspired by trying to physically model a guitar amp. I actually did a very similar project in grad school in C++ for my physical modeling seminar course. But this, so wave folder distortion just kind of adds harmonics to the sound. There's a couple of filters here, and then that goes on to the output through a couple of effects things that I'll talk about in a minute, but it also feeds back through a long delay, ranging from, I guess, like around 5 milliseconds to however much this random sample and hold LFO is modulating it. So, and then the gain and that feedback loop is also modulated. This attack release envelope is controlled by whether transport is playing, so that when I stop playing, it stops feeding back. So basically, if I stop the transport, the feedback loop gets completely cut off, that outer feedback loop, and it stops creating that crazy howling feedback. So what does this do? Well, this is meant to emulate the sound of something like a guitar being amplified and then the signal passing back through the air, hence the delay and extreme attenuation here. And then vibrating the strings, the vibrations in the air from the amplifier actually continuing to vibrate and resonate the strings. So even though the gain is very low on the outer feedback loop, it doesn't take a lot to do this. You create this sort of growing feedback in the outer loop very easily with this extra delay. And what that does is the delay time here influences kind of the additional harmonic excitement of the resonator. So depending on what this is set to, you'll get different frequency or different sort of harmonic frequencies of the original pitch output. And the pitch is being also slowly modulated with sample and hold LFO up here. So the actual pitch of the delay line. I like this as a performable patch. I find it really fun to play with Aftertouch and like a mod wheel. But for the sake of this challenge, I decided to do it just all automated. So let me show you a little bit more of how this works. I'm gonna undo this modulation for a sec so the delay time is fixed. Yeah, that sounds gnarly. But then as I change this, different harmonics come out. And that's the role of the delay time here. So undo that and put the modulation back on. Yeah, so essentially the however long the outer delay is influences, you know, what harmonic relationship gets amplified in the resonating string with that feedback. So what else is going on? Let's see. This is basically just a standard feedback delay. I chose to use long delay instead of mod delay because long delay can actually go longer. It's very confusing. Mod delay also has these notes that you can choose from, these rhythmic intervals, but they max out at like 1 second, whereas the long delay I think maxes out at like 8 seconds. So this one is actually quite a bit longer, but to set up a feedback loop, you have to do that manually. So the input, the dry input, delayed signal, attenuated before it's fed back in, and some with the dry input. Then a blend. This is like the dry wet blend. And then over here, I copied in this crazy reverb matrix thing that I ripped from a Axolotl preset patch. That's part of the community library. Whoa. I think I must have accidentally played it. So this is just a network of matrixed all pass and longer delays that, you know, sounds like reverb. So it's dry and wet. There's reverb. And what this is doing is actually modulating at different phases each of the all pass sections. Just gives a sort of a modulated character to the reverb. I'm going to turn it up and accentuate it so you can hear what's going on. If you overdo it, it gets real weird. So I like to keep it pretty small. And there we have it. That's the entirety of the patch. More experimental than anything else. It is randomly sequenced though with these sample and hold LFOs. Smooth sample and hold just gives it like random values. So this will just continue to make weird noises. This could be kind of fun in sort of like an audio installation or something like that. Maybe around Halloween time. I don't know, with the horror sound. So I had fun with this. Thanks for organizing. And I'm happy to share the patch as well. I'll upload it to the channel.